how do you translate your passion into the people that work for you so that they can convey that same passion to the customers? Because obviously you're not facing every single customer face to face and
I'm
dealing
damn near. I damn near am,
damn
Mark.
near.
Seriously, I am damn near out there. I mean, I'm there all the time, and I try to be. But that's a great question, and it's an important one. Um, Again, man, treat people the way you want to be treated. I always drove me crazy. Again, I'm not a business guy. Maybe this isn't going to work out. Maybe this is the wrong mentality to have. But this whole idea that you can justify treating people badly or employees badly or being rude or being a jerk because it's quote unquote this is just business. I just think that's, again, we're a podcast, so I can say it. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I think that's complete bullshit, and I think that's a bad way to not only live your life but run your business. And if I have to do quote unquote business like that, I don't want to do it. So we treat our employees well. We pay them well. We pay them above minimum wage. The people that we have working for us are some of the hardest working people in the world. And that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother episode. But I want to reward them for that. And if it means I make less money or even my investors make a little less money so we can keep our employees feeling good, feeling happy, then that translates. So one of the things we do is everybody's idea is a good idea. So if you have some idea about trying to take this meat and do some special with it, I will 100% let you do that. Please come with the ideas, bring it yourself, and let's work with that. We do tip pooling. So we try to not take cash at Augie's. And there's some people who get frustrated or get upset about it. We will take your cash if that's all you have, if you don't have a card, but we prefer a card because we do tip pooling for our back of the house employees. Been a big tradition in the restaurant industry where the legalities of tipping are that when you give me $3 or $5 or 20% of whatever the bill is, if you give that to me in cash, that then becomes my property. As soon as that transaction occurs. Now I can be a cool dude and I can go split it with the people at the back of the house, the people that put the food together that people enjoyed. That is the reason why they're giving the money in the first place. Or I can take it and I can put it in my pocket. So we do tip pooling through our POS system. Square, shout out to Square. If there's any small business people trying to get down with Square. Love them. And they calculate, they do our payroll for us as well. So they take the total number of hours worked by all of our employees in a work week, and then take each individual employee's hours, calculate that as a percentage, take the tips that come in via the credit card processing, and add that onto their paycheck. So a couple weeks ago, one of our dishwashers, base salary of $15 an hour, ended up making $21 an hour when you included tips on there.
Wow.
So for him, again, immigrant guy, hardworking dude, incredibly hardworking dude. This is some of the best pay that he's got since he's been in this country, working hard to make a living and support his family because we set it up like that. So guess what? When I need an extra shift, yeah, Lex, no problem. Yeah, oh, totally can help you out. Hey, you think I could just stay for an extra hour, or can you come in later, or can you come in earlier, or can you do this, can you do that? Yeah, no problem, because we're taking care of people. We're treating them with respect, and we're trying to pay them as well as we possibly can. And again, we take the hit and allow them to have a living wage. And again, not go with this it's business as usual mentality. I don't buy that. I don't buy into that. And if I've got to run my business like that, I'm probably not going to be running a business.
Yeah, one of the best books I read and just read this a few months ago is Ray Dalio's Principles.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Dalio
I'm not familiar with him, so educate me.
He built Bridgewater Associates, which
Okay.
is the world's biggest hedge fund.
Okay.
And so, and it's funny, like back in I think the 70s, he basically went broke and lost his entire company, rebuilt from scratch. But he did a twist on it to where, hey, I had this entire model wrong. I need to focus on the employees instead. And basically, that's one of his big chapters, principles that it's not your customers that are number one, it's your employees.
Right.
Yeah. If you take care of your employees and keep them ahead of the game, number one, that's when your business excels.
Right.
Yeah. And it was a very great chapter. And everything what he talked about. It was a great book.
Well, and I believe in that. I mean, and that's kind of the Bay Area mentality, right? Like that's how, these startups work. Everybody's opinion matters, and it's not this old school, I hate to, start the whole Biggie Tupac East Coast West Coast war again, but that's a very East Coast mentality of you should just be happy that you have a job.
Yeah.
And show up and do your job and shut the hell up and know your role and know your place in the pecking order and be quiet. I don't believe that it doesn't have to be like that anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it had to be like that when we were making, shoes in factories or paper or something like that. But that's not what we're doing. So I think that's a great point, and I totally buy into that. And again, you can get a mentality, you can get a feel from people, especially employees, if the place they work sucks. And
Yeah.
dude, life's too short. Who wants to work at some place that sucks, right? Like again, I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. I've worked in environments that were like that. I'm sure you have as well. And it sucks. There's nothing worse than dreading going to work every day, right? Like,
Yep.
that's the worst feeling in the world, just so you can make enough money to pay your bills and get by. So if we don't have to do it that way, why do it that way?
Yeah. Now, one other thing you also mentioned is giving your employees the ability to handle issues on their own, right?
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
Empower them. Empower them. Again, I want them to feel like they don't have to be like, hey, Lex, can I do this? Can I do that? No, look, let's make it right. And again, I understand there's
And I think
processes.
that's where a lot of business owners struggle with their employees is that they don't give the employees the power in order to make decisions on their own.
Right. Totally. And again, we want to empower our employees. We want them to be able to do their job. And big part of doing their job at Augie's is making sure that people are happy, man. That when they leave, they got a smile on their face. They felt like they got a good value for what they paid for. The food was good. People were nice. People were attentive. Again, it's fast casual service, right? It's not a waiter or a waitress who's sitting down, who's pouring you your glass of wine, asking if you need another water. It's not that type of service model, but we can provide some of that by checking in. Hey, you need some more pickles or coleslaw? Was everything okay? Did you like it? Any suggestions, any feedback, and also come with that kind of humble approach of like, we're not perfect. We're not the best at doing X, Y, or Z, and we're always looking to improve. And if there's something we can do besides putting cheese or mayonnaise on my sandwiches, because you can't do that, I tell people you want to defile my sandwich, do that shit in the privacy of your own home. Do not do it at Augie's. But other than that, like some feedback. Hey, maybe this portion should be bigger. Our coleslaw portions were a 2-ounce portion, which is more traditional of what you get in Montreal. We had some customers say, really like the coleslaw. Any way you could like up the portion size? Looked at it, ran the numbers. Yeah, absolutely. We can up the portion size of the coleslaw, not have to affect the price or change the price of the sandwich. We had that flexibility. So now we doubled our coleslaw stuff. So again, being open to that stuff, I think it also makes customers feel like they have not ownership. That's a little too extreme and too strong a sense, but they have some.
They have some kind of say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And how things are going and what their experience is going to be like. And again, as a consumer, I go back to it. I just want to be treated the way I would like to be treated. And if I go in somewhere, I'm like, hey, man, why don't you try doing this? This would have made my experience better. And I come back a week later and they've done that. I'm like, oh, okay. These people are attentive and care and are humble enough to take that feedback, critical criticism without getting their egos hurt, without getting upset, and doing something that improved their product, which improved my experience, which then is going to have me talking to everybody and saying, hey, man, come on back and come check out the spot because they did X, Y, and Z and it was amazing and it made things better. So again, that's the mentality that I want to have. And who knows, maybe there's folks listening out here be like, no, you got to be a jerk and you got to be a hard ass businessman and you're going to fail. And who knows, maybe I will. But even if
Well, I
I
feel
do, at
like
least
that
I,
was
I
the
go on my own
style.
terms. I go on
Yeah.
my right. I'm going down the way that I wanted to do it. And I'll say, I tried and I tried to do it in the way that I thought was right. And
One of the best quotes is it's better die on your own sword than someone else's.
yes, sir. Absolutely. Let's hope nobody's dying on anybody's sword.
Yeah.
No death. It's not that deep, right? At the end of the day, it's just it's business. It's a sandwich. Hopefully, it works out, but nobody's going to die on anybody's sword. So,
Yeah.
regardless of what happens.
So, what type of marketing are you doing to promote your business?
So
I know
that's the big one, dude. That's where we're at. That's why I'm glad to be on here talking. Is